Hello girlfriends, welcome to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Jody and it's great to have you join me today. Today we are doing a review that I've been looking forward to for quite some time. There's just something about small businesses that I really like to try to promote, and I was genuinely interested in this brand anyways. I had actually first heard of this brand from Swavy Curly Courtney. Now we are going to be reviewing, or rather I am going to be reviewing Miribel Naturals, and it originally had a different name. When it started out it was My Soigné, I believe. I might be mispronouncing that, but the founder talks about how she had started that brand initially for curly hair, and then after having her daughter they went through some rebranding, through some decisions that she just wanted to kind of broaden her horizons a bit. And now, rather than just being a curly hair brand, she's a healthy hair brand. So I have a bundle of travel size products here that we will be looking at. First, let's start out with the Washday products, what my hair has been washed and styled with, and then we'll begin applying the rest of the products and talking about those. This is the Creamy Scalp Scrub. The 8-ounce retails for $26 and the 1-ounce retails for $7. Our Creamy Scalp Scrub was designed for dry, itchy, or easily irritated and inflamed scalps. The scalp scrub can be used by itself or as a co-wash before shampooing or after shampooing to restore pH. The directions say to use the scalp scrub, massage into wet hair with fingertips, add water to dilute the scalp scrub and help to spread it around. Let it sit on your scalp for 5 to 10 minutes, then rinse thoroughly. Please note that the Creamy Scalp Scrub will not lather. So at the time that I purchased my Miribel Naturals products, I'm pretty sure the scalp scrub was the only type of cleanser that they had. I'm pretty sure, not 100%, but I do see on their website they have a scalp reset shampoo, and I think that would actually be more like the vibes that I'd be going for, more like a traditional shampoo. This one was just more like a co-wash to me, a non-lathering co-wash, one that didn't really have slip, so it was okay, but not really impressed. The Dreamy Hair Cream, the 8-ounce retails for $28, the 1-ounce retails for $7. Our Dreamy Hair Cream was designed for dry, curly hair that needs more moisture. Try this product if your hair feels stiff, breaks off easily, or has some hard, grumpy frizz that won't seem to go away. The directions say the best way to use the Dreamy Hair Cream is on wet hair. If your hair is coarse or tends to be dry, use the hair cream on very wet hair as your styling cream or leave-in conditioner. If your hair is fine or gets weighed down easily, you can use the Dreamy Hair Cream as a rinse-out conditioner. Just so you know, I did speed through this clip a little bit, and the Dreamy Hair Cream worked out well as a rinse-out conditioner. I didn't have any issues. It provided great slip. I was able to finger detangle, not a problem. I do think that this one would have been a little heavy for my hair had I used it as a leave-in cream. With my finer hair, I think the Power Protein treatment was a better option for me. Okay, the first product we are going to be going in with is the Powerhouse Protein Cream. And to be truthfully honest, this product was what I was most excited about when I first heard about this brand. I have fine curly hair and my hair loves protein. It thrives on having a steady diet of protein. So I knew at some point I definitely wanted to try this brand and specifically this product. So I'm just going to read the first several ingredients here. That we have water, we have cereal alcohol, we have hydrolyzed rice protein, we have beta-ammonium methosulfate, and then hydrolyzed quinoa, I'm not familiar with this one, I'm going to put it down here on the screen so I don't make a fool of myself. I guess it says in parentheses that's baobab seed extract. And then there's a few more ingredients. There's another hydrolyzed oat protein. Really the ingredients list is overall pretty simplified compared to like some of your regular drugstore brands that just have a whole bunch of things that you would probably mispronounce on a regular. I think how I'm going to do it today is I am going to go over the specs of this product as I'm applying it. So let's dive in. This is the Powerhouse Protein Cream. The 8-ounce retails for $28, the 1-ounce retails for $7. Our Powerhouse Protein Cream was designed for hair that is heat damaged, color treated, bleached, or is fine and prone to breakage by nature. If your hair feels very soft and feels limp with little to no bounce, the protein cream is for you. The directions say the best way to use this cream is on wet hair. If your hair is coarse or tends to be dry, use the protein cream on very wet hair as your rinse-out conditioner or styling cream. If your hair is fine or gets weighed down easily, you can use the protein cream as a rinse-out cream. Remember, start with a small amount and work your way up from there. This product is made to last and little goes a long way. Alright, just going through and dispersing this product with my Tangle Teezer. And I maybe feel a slight more slip to my hair since adding this, but really the product has just soaked into my hair and I really don't feel much of anything on there at this point. Alright, so I have already brush styled the bottom section of my hair off camera. And just going through with this top horseshoe section. I just have the cream in my hair at this point, the Power Protein Cream. and it has great slip. I've already actually used this product before. I've used all of these products before, so this is not a first impressions, except for the Washday products. That was the first time I had used those. So just keep that in mind if I haven't already said that. To be truthfully honest, I don't know if I will remember to include that in the voiceover or not. I've had a little bit of experience. I've used this once before, and I've liked the cream. I've enjoyed my results. It hasn't been heavy. It hasn't weighed my hair down. And I did notice a boost in protein. I did notice that my curls were very spiraled, and I like that. Now, could that have to do with the summer weather that we're having too? Possibly. My hair does change with like the summer to winter versus like how curly my hair does get and everything like that, how tight my spiral is. So that could be something, but I just generally feel like it gives more structure. The proteins give more structure to my curls and everything like that. You guys, if I sound tired or like I'm losing my train of thought more than normal, it's because I am. So I feel like I'm struggling here a little bit, and I usually just try to push on, like I'm pushing on, but I also want to be real and honest because I don't know how much I can cover up the fact that I just am tired, okay? So just going to, now that I've brushed out this all through, raking through a little bit with my fingers just to break up some larger curl clumps and scrunching. This is what I do pretty much with any products that I use. Like I said, the cream is lightweight enough, even though I do go in with a very small portion. You saw that I just used like a pea-sized amount pretty much, and that's all my hair needs. I do like the fact that on the directions it does say that you can use this cream a multitude of ways or different ways. You can use it as, like I used it as a sort of leave-in or base moisturizer, or if your hair is more fine, which my hair is fine, but the option was also given that you can use it as a rinse out. A lot of times people with finer hair don't like to use creams because as a leave-in type product, a leave-in styler, because it can weigh their hair down. It can just be too heavy. Finer hair often doesn't need as much moisture as a more coarse or more dry finished hair. But my hair can get away with it a lot of times for some reason, probably due to the porosity. Even though my hair is a softer finish, probably due to the porosity of my hair, being a little bit more higher porosity can just absorb it a little bit more. I had a conversation recently with, someone had commented on one of my posts. Actually, it was the comment on the diffusing routine. And they commented how their hair just sucked up the product basically. And even though they have a softer finish, their hair just sucks up the product. And she did mention that she had higher porosity hair. And I totally understand that. I totally get that. In many ways, my hair can be like that too, but probably maybe not to the same extent that hers is. But I do understand there are things that my hair will suck up the product on. I can spray hairspray upon hairspray upon hairspray. I can spray it easily 3 times a day. And within a few more hours, it feels like I have nothing on there. And it's not just this hairspray that I've used. Like I've used other hairsprays, and it's even more so that way with some other hairsprays. So the current hairspray I have, the Tresemme Extra Hold hairspray, absolutely love that. Personal favorite of mine, and I don't see myself changing anytime soon. But regardless of what hairspray I use, my hair just absorbs it like crazy. All to say, my hair can do that with some products. And so that is why I am able to get away with using creams a lot of times, I guess. But now that we have this cream all brush styled in, we are ready to move on to our next styler. And that would be the Extra Hold Flaxseed Gel. Now they do have a softer hold flaxseed gel, I believe, but I am personally one of those girls that loves a harder hold. So pretty much any chance I can get, I'm going to opt for the harder hold. If I do choose to use a softer hold, it's probably because I tend to either have plans to maybe use it as like a single styler in the winter time, or pair it with something that's more hard hold anyways, at any time of the year. So like I said, we're going with the harder hold one. So let's go over the information of that while I apply the gel. This is the Extra Hold Flaxseed Gel. The 8 ounce retails for $28, the 1 ounce for $7. Our silky smooth flaxseed gel with a few extra ingredients for a firm hold, so your hair will feel light, bouncy, and moisturized while staying in its place for days. The directions say the best way to use this hard hold gel is on wet hair. Use the hard hold gel on wet hair either alone or after using a leave-in. Remember, start with a small amount and work your way up from there. This product is made to last, and a little goes a long way. Now I know I applied some gel in the upright position, but if you know me, I usually like to apply gel in the flipped over position as well, and we're going to be applying the last product this way anyways. So I'm going in with about half the amount that I went in the first time. Just going to glaze a little bit of that over the underside here, maybe like lift my layers a little bit. There's really not much on my hands now at this point. It's pretty well soaked into my hair. My hair still feels very lightweight. It doesn't feel like there's hardly any product on it at all at this point. I do see just a tad bit of potentially like drying here, maybe a little bit of stringiness, so I do want to just wet that down a little bit more. Okay, I wetted that area. I'm just going to glaze it down and scrunch again. And it looks better. It looks like it's clumping a little bit better with the rest of the curls. So if you notice that while you're putting your products in, while you're scrunching upside down, it's a lot easier to see when you're scrunching upside down, which is another reason why I do like to be in this position sometimes while I'm applying my products. But feel free to add a little bit more water to your hair, to your products if you need to get it for your hair to clump better. Now we are going to go in, sorry, I got hair in my eyes as I'm trying to talk to you. Now we are going to go in with the last product, the Vava Vroom, which I kind of think that this title is a little unique, but the Vava Vroom Foam. So I'm going to give you the information on this while I am applying it. The Vava Voom Volumizing Hair Foam, the 8-ounce retails for $28, the 1-ounce for $7. Our volumizing foam was designed for hair that needs help achieving some volume while keeping definition. It's great if you like soft hair. It also works for pairing with a gel. The hair foam tends to work well on its own for looser waves and curls, and paired under the flaxseed gel for tighter curls and coils. The directions say for the volumizing foam can be used on wet or damp hair. If your hair is coarse, use the hair foam on wet hair before applying your gel. If your hair is fine or gets weighed down easily, use the hair foam on damp hair, and you can use it either on its own or after applying the gel. Remember to start with a small amount and work your way up from there. This product was made to last, and the logo goes a long way. Alright, this is what the curls are looking like before I put them in my wet plop. Alright, I am going to let this wet plop sit on for about 10-15 minutes. I am going to come back after I diffuse my hair and show you the results, and we are also going to see day 2 results where I talk more about the products individually, what I like or don't like about them, and definitely go into all the details, so stay tuned. Okay, girlfriends, I am back with my hair fully diffused, and I will say I had a bit more of an intermission than I thought I was going to. We had some storms come through and it got really dark in this room, and I just didn't really feel like it was going to be very good lighting at all to show you what my hair looks like. But let's take a look at the sides of the hair as we always do, and the underside, and then we'll take a look at the back of it in just a moment here. And then I definitely have things that I want to go over and talk about. So let's take a look at the back though first. Okay guys, I want to start out by saying that these results I have today are nothing really like the results that I had the first time I tried the stylers. And I am so disappointed because honestly guys, the first time I tried these stylers, I was pretty blown away. I was so impressed. And maybe I got overconfident with my styling routine, and anyways, it's like I said, it's just not how I remember it the first time. The first time I had very bouncy curls, much more of a tighter spiral. Like I said, they were more bouncy, they were more fluffy, more lightweight. Not that my hair feels heavy, it doesn't feel heavy at all, but it was definitely like more lightweight feeling. And I have some ideas as to why that is the case, but let's just go over what my hair is looking like. So I have good definition in the sense that I have very minimal frizz, but my definition, my curls are not a very tight spiral. They're very loose. They're very just kind of limp looking, which is blowing me away because of the protein cream. I was so certain that this protein cream, based on the results I had last time, was going to give me big, juicy, bouncy curls. But that is not the case today. We have just kind of stringy looking curls, to be truthfully honest, and that's one of the things I hate the most. As far as my hair feeling, it feels well moisturized. It does not feel heavy. It doesn't feel like I have much product in my hair at all. I do feel a bit of a hold, and as I was diffusing my hair, there was a bit of a cast this time, as well as the first time that I used these products. So I got a cast initially, and then as I continued to dry my hair, the cast disappeared. So that was consistent, but that was about the only thing that was consistent. Otherwise, like my volume, there's some volume, but I feel like the last time that I used these products, I had more volume. It's so frustrating when you know you got such good results the first time, and then when you're doing it on camera and it's nothing like what you anticipated based on your experience. That's the worst part about it. It's not just like expectations based on other people's experience. It's based on my experience. Okay, I need to get over it. Let's diagnose what might have gone wrong. I highly suspect that in my confidence of these products that I probably went in with too much product. I'm pretty sure I went in with a little bit more cream than I did the last time. The last time I think I went in very sparingly with it. And then also I'm pretty sure that I went in with more gel than I did the last time. The only product I think I went in with the same amount on was the foam, 2.5 pumps. Another thing that I'm pretty sure happened is I'm pretty sure I had less water in my hair this time, because I remember the first time I went in with these products, and by the time I got to my foam, I'm scrunching the gel in, or scrunching the foam in, sorry, that my hair was like, you could really hear the squish in it, and that wasn't the case today. So going in with less product and also going in with more water is going to dilute the products more. And as I've kind of alluded to, that's not what we have here today. Some other things that may have contributed as well is the weather. We've had a storm come through, but I'm not really out in the elements. I'm in a temperature controlled environment and everything. And another thing that could have played a role is hormones. Female hormones do change, and so that could be something that I'm experiencing as well. All that to say, I'm going to wait and see how this hair holds up into day 2, about 24 hours later, and I'm also going to go into each of these products individually, what I like and don't like about them. So if you want to know more of those details, just keep watching. Okay friends, let's check back for day 2 using the Miribel Natural products. And we're going to do something a little bit differently in this video than I've done for any of my videos, I think. But let's take a look at this hair here, what the curls are looking like. I actually think that they have held up pretty well, and I will tell you why. So there's still decent definition throughout, I mean, based on what I had yesterday. Let me show you the back of my hair before I get too far ahead into my analysis. Okay, so when I say that my hair has held up pretty well considering the circumstances, I mean the fact that yesterday I had said that my hair just wasn't, using these products, my hair just wasn't as I remembered it the first time using these products. It wasn't as bouncy, it wasn't as spirally, it wasn't as fluffy and light feeling. Not that my hair feels heavy, I've said this before, not that my hair feels heavy, but it's just not the pattern, the texture, the overall look that my hair was before. But my hair has held up, like it has maintained itself. And also the reason why I'm saying this is because we were out in the heat and humidity and just like out in the scorching sun, and the shirt that I had on, that, what do you want to call it? Like, it was a tank top and it had like this little like weaving type stuff in it. It has 3 buttons in the back, and I will tell you what, I love that shirt. It is one of my favorite shirts, but my hair always gets caught in those buttons in the back, so I'm constantly like trying to untangle and loosen my hair from the buttons, so that's going to create some frizz. But honestly, when I looked at it this morning, it wasn't nearly as much as I thought there would be. There's maybe a little bit, but not bad. And like I said, we were out in the heat, humidity. We were standing outside in the sun. I got a little, well, I don't know that you can see it now, but my shoulders were definitely pink yesterday afternoon when we came in, and the sun was just beating down on us. I am sweating. I know I'm painting a pretty picture here, but my hair held up in that, and there was some wind at times. I'm tossing my hair around to try to get it out of my face and everything like that. So my hair actually held up very well considering what I put it through. I did notice a little bit of extra halo frizz, but not bad. Like, I'm looking at it today and it is not bad, very minimal. So my definition hasn't really changed for the most part. I feel like most things have stayed the same. The only thing I feel like I may be noticing a little bit of difference in is my hair has lost a little bit of its volume, but actually that's pretty normal for me. I'm volume challenged anyway, so the most volume I'm generally going to get is on day 1, but otherwise the moisture has held up. And so let me tell you what I want to do a little bit differently though. I'm going to kind of cut ahead till tomorrow, and I don't normally do this for my videos, but my mom, yesterday we figured out I'm going to get a haircut tomorrow, or trim basically. I'm not like really shortening my length, or I'm not trying to. I'm just going to trim up my hair a little bit, and I'm going to trim these face frame pieces so hopefully they lie a little bit better. And my mom does a wet cut on me, so I don't go to any place necessarily to have my hair done. Just my mom. She has a good price, so it's $0. And she's been doing it all my life basically, so I'm comfortable with her. But anyway, so she's gonna cut my hair, and then after the haircut, I'm going to reapply these Miribel Natural stylers. I want to see if I can recreate the first routine that I had done and get the first results that I had, the more fluffy, the more bouncy, the more spirally results. I can't guarantee it, but I'm definitely going to give it a shot. So I'm going to do that. We're going to cut away to that. And then I'm also going to wrap up this video, like I said, telling you what I think about each of the products. Okay, curl friends, I have come back because I have redone my hair. I have restyled with the Miribel Natural product. So I used the cream, the protein cream, I used the flaxseed gel, the Harder Hold flaxseed gel, as well as the foam. And let's take a look at these results. Something to note, I did go in with a clarifying shampoo this time, or not just a clarifying shampoo, a chelating shampoo this time. And I also did get a small trim. Just a very small trim, but my mom did also give me face framing pieces. They weren't blended out quite as well as they were last time, but I think part of that was because last time too, my hair was cut significantly shorter. I mean, my hair does curl up pretty good. It looks a lot shorter, but it's really not. Like, there was half an inch taken off maybe, and just the layers added, but nothing like I've had those same layers before. So yeah, just the face framing pieces weren't blended in maybe quite as well as they were the last time. Not the end of the world. Let me show you what my hair looks like though in the back. All right, and honestly, this is what my hair, I remember it looking like more the first time I tried these products. I have bigger, juicier, bouncier curl clumps, and my hair doesn't look so stringy, and I just overall like the look of it better. Like I said, the curls are just juicier. All right, sorry, I was kind of interrupted by a phone call and I don't quite remember where I was, but I just overall like the clumping of my curls. I like the definition of my curls so much better this time. It still isn't my tightest curl pattern, but you know, that could just be due to weather or more than likely changing hormones. So what I did differently this time though is, first of all, I went in with more water throughout the entire styling process. When I added the cream, then I went in with about half the amount of cream that I did on camera. And then when I went in with a gel, it was a little less gel. And then the foam was the same amount of foam that I had shown on camera. So primarily more water and less cream and a little less gel. And overall, I just think that suits my hair's needs better. So we're gonna jump back to the rest of the video and you can see my closing thoughts on these products individually. All right, so looking at these products individually, what do I think about them? There are definitely some that I like more than others, but that's to be expected pretty much in any lineup. But let's start out in Washday order. So I'm gonna start out with the Creamy Scalp Scrub. Now, when I had purchased these products, I had purchased a travel size bundle, and she did not have her scalp reset shampoo. I think that's what it's called at that time. At least I'm pretty certain she didn't, because now it's offered in the bundle, and at the time it wasn't. And I really don't remember a shampoo, because I generally would have wanted something that was going to provide more lather. As the directions say, this did not provide a lather, and it's not meant to. It's not designed to. As a co-wash, yeah, I think this would be fine. But as the only wash day product, this is not what that was designed for, really. And I cannot get away with purely a co-wash. So it was okay. I will definitely work it into my routines. Actually, I see myself just putting this in my shower because the current co-wash I have in my shower is pretty much used up. So I think that this will work out well in that place for however long it lasts. And then I'll move on. For me, this would just probably not be a product that I would repurchase. I do think it has good ingredients in it. I'm not an ingredients expert, but it does have apple cider vinegar in it. It does have a lot of natural things, turmeric. It also has tea tree oil and peppermint. This brand really does work to focus on having very natural and clean ingredients. So if that is something that you appreciate, definitely consider, checking it further into these products. Next up, the Dreamy Hair Cream. I actually chose to use this as a rinse out conditioner. I do like the fact that this is multi-purpose, that you can use it as a leave-in if you want, if you have more dry or more coarse hair, or you can choose to use it as a rinse out if you have finer hair and don't need all that moisture. For me, as a rinse out, I think it worked fine. It had great slip to it, so I do like that. I'd be interested in trying the other cream, which we're going to get to here in a minute, as a rinse out as well, since that is an option. But part of me just wants to leave it in my hair because these are more pricey products. And I guess I just want to make it go a little further by leaving the product in my hair, if you understand what I mean. But anyways, moving on to the product that I was most excited to try out of this whole lineup, and that was the Powerhouse Protein Cream. Now, I think originally this used to just be called the Power Protein Cream, but I could be wrong on that. Once again, this is another multifunctional product. You can use it in, or you can use it as a rinse out, or you can just leave it in your hair. As I said, I'd be interested in trying it either way. It had good slip through my hair, just like brushing it through for styling and everything. So I imagine it would have good slip for finger detangling in the shower, or if you like to use a brush, something like that. I do think a little goes a long way on this. I think that's the case for all of her products, to be truthfully honest. And I did that, like I said, the first time that I had applied the products, but the second time I just got a little bit more bold, a little bit more venturesome, and I'm like, oh yeah, I got this. Let me just put a little bit more on there. And I don't think that's what you need. For me, a very small pea-sized amount is more than enough, I do believe. But yeah, I do think that this is a great cream. I look forward to pairing it with other products in the future. This is also one of those that I would see myself repurchasing. Next up, the Extra Hold Flaxseed Gel. Now, I've not compared this to the Softer Hold Flaxseed Gel, so I don't know how this is, but I do think that this is a good holding gel. I typically don't think of flaxseed gels as giving that much hold, and it's still, like when I used this the first time and got the correct amount, I feel like it was a soft, or it was a flexible hold, I think is a better term for it. My hair did feel soft, but it was very flexible, very pliable, but yet it kept the structure of my curls. And so I was looking at the ingredients in here, and it has flaxseed as the first ingredient. It has VPVA copolymer as PVP, so both of those ingredients are holding ingredients. It has polyquaternium 10, which is going to seal your hair cuticle, just kind of keep the humidity from wreaking havoc on it. And then it also has aloe leaf juice, it has panthenol, and then it has vitamin E and a couple other ingredients. But for the most part, a very simple ingredients list. I do like this. I do think it has good hold, like I said, and I could see myself repurchasing this. And then for the Va-Va-Voom Volumizing Foam, I actually think that this is a pretty decent foam. I know I said that my hair has kind of fallen a little bit on day 2, but that's generally the case for me. My hair still feels lightweight, and I think the volume was longer lasting, or a bigger difference when I used it the first time. Hopefully on the third try of using these products, I've been able to recreate what I had the first time, and you guys will have already seen that. I don't know yet, but I do think that this is a nice lightweight volumizing foam. And I like that she gives instructions for those with more coarse hair or those with more fine hair, how they can work it into their routine better. Those with more coarse hair, she recommends using it before the gel. Those with more fine hair, using it after the gel, or you can even use it on its own. And if I am repurchasing a few other stylers, I think that I would definitely pick this one up as well. All right, and this wraps up my review of Miribel Naturals. I know it wasn't quite how I expected things to turn. There was, a twist in it and everything like that. Not the results I thought I was going to have initially, but as with any curly hair routine, things change due to weather, hormones, and things out of my control. But I really do enjoy these products. I really do like them. And despite the fact that I didn't have my best wash day, it still held up really well. So let me know what you thought of this in the comments down below. Are you interested in any of these products? If so, which ones speak the most to you, or which ones are you most interested in trying? And until I see you again in the next video, have a great day. Bye.